Well, welcome again to Sam's Antique Motors, working on this 72 Chevy Highlander. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about how to rebuild these brake calipers. So this has front disc brakes. They're heavy duty calipers with a single piston. This one here I've already done. So I had my associate Drew bead blast all the rust off of this, being very careful inside in this piston area. We didn't do too much in there, but got that cleaned up. Got everything spiffed up, put brake cleaner through it, got it really clean, and then put the piston back in there. So what I wanted to do now is kind of show you, I'm gonna just set this aside, show you on the one that I haven't put together, kind of how you go about putting that together. So the first thing after cleaning this up, this is the piston that goes in there. So this hollow piece goes towards the brake shoe, and we really polish this on a fine wire wheel and got this just as clean and shiny as possible. And I bought a seal kit from my friends at Napa, and this is happens to be 524 caliper repair kit. It was like $4. Wasn't very expensive at all, and it really comes with these two seals. So it has a big O-ring, square section seal, and then a real seal that goes around the piston. So what I found was the first thing I did was I came in here and I got just a little bit of brake fluid and kind of put brake fluid around this little O-ring so that it was nice and oiled up. And there's a little groove inside here, and I just put that little square section O-ring in there, and that's all nice and smooth. And I just made sure that has a lot of this brake fluid. I'm using .5 brake fluid so it doesn't tear up any paint. So once I got that in place, then the next thing I did is a bunch of people will suggest that you put this piston in and then get it 3/4 and then just put this seal on. And I really found that it was a lot easier to do the same thing, kind of get this seal. There's again a little groove. I think this is really more of a dust seal, and it goes like this with the seal pointing towards the solid part of the piston. And I just kind of took it and pushed it down over the top of this delicately, or not. And pushed it up until that seal goes and fits in that groove. So once that seal is in that groove nicely, I took that and just kind of put some more brake fluid on it. Then I positioned it down in this caliper, and that little square section seal is going to hold that thing off. So once I got that done, I took my C-style persuader and just put the screws to this. And there's a nice flat part on the back side of the caliper, and I tried to center this pretty much on this piston. And then just push it in. And make sure you're pushing it in kind of square. If it gets sideways, it gets where it doesn't want to do it. And I push it down to where that O-ring is right about at the edge of the caliper. And then I have another little fancy tool that I doubt too many people have, but you probably have to have something similar to this. This is a snap-on seal driver. It has a whole bunch of different size rings, and so I put this in here, do the same thing. This is going to push that piston the rest of the way into that caliper. Has a metal plate on the back of a plastic plate. So I'm going to just keep pushing this in until we get this seal. I'm going to kind of seat it up where it's supposed to go. I'm going to go ahead and take this back out, check the position of this seal, make sure it's going in the way it's supposed to. It looks like it is. it's in the right position. And then I'm gonna just take and and there you have it. Seals in place, nice and flat. It's all looking good. So the only thing left to do then is put the little bleeder screw, and this has a little blue dust cover on it. So put the little bleeder screw in there. And I have new brake lines coming, but I don't have them yet, so I'm going to put the brake line, there's two little copper washers on this that go on the, you get the actual brake hose, but I'll go ahead and just put that in there hand tight just to keep the dust from getting in there. And then the last thing is that there's these little seals that go on these spacers that the mounting bolts go in. So same drill, I just put, this is actually a little bit harder to get in, so I got these kind of put a little brake fluid on them so they're a little bit slippery. And these I really cleaned up as best I could. They don't come in the kit. So I got that one pushed in there. The same thing on this side. There's a little groove that sits up inside of. Okay, and then what I found out was that it's kind of helpful to put the screw on there, and then you can kind of use that screw to just pull that bolt up in there. Where it's supposed to go like that. It's got one side, and then we'll do the same thing over here. Push that one just a little bit too far. Okay, so one caliper assembled, and that's ready to go. So we'll get the brake spindles put all back together with bearings on them, and then this is ready to go on the car. I did want to point out that there's two of these, obviously, for the fronts, and they're different. So this one that has this big R goes on the right side, passenger side. So this has a 6, no markings. This has a 7, this has an R on it. So the R goes on the passenger side. So that's it for today, and stay tuned for the next segment.
Download the Resto-Rat app today to begin managing, tracking, and documenting your restoration project.